Tonight, on PhillyCAM Voices, we have 6 segments produced by the fellows in the Community Journalism Mentorship Program. The Journalism Mentorship Program is a 6-month-long program where participants receive training in media production and build a portfolio of journalistic video pieces for television. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to PhillyCAM Voices. I'm your host, Rachel K. Godfrey. Many had questions about what took place when the city of Philadelphia announced a code red air quality alert Wednesday, June 7th. Angelica Sanders sat down with Jerome Shabazz, Executive Director of the Overbrook Environmental Education Center in West Philadelphia, to talk about the city's air quality emergency.
Canada wildfires cast gloom over Philadelphia streets, confusing residents and interrupting the season's festivities. We sat down with Jerome Shabazz, Executive Director of the Overbrook Environmental Education Center in West Philadelphia, to talk more about the city's air quality emergency.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Angelica. As you indicated, I'm Jerome Shabazz. I'm the Executive Director of the Overbrook Environmental Education Center. And we're really pleased to have this conversation with you today. You know, what we experienced over the last week is an amazing phenomenon. Unfortunately, it's not something that's new. It's just something that we're more aware of because of technology and our ability to have communications about issues that are taking place all over the world. But what was happening essentially is something that, if you look at the data, happens quite often in Canada, where forest fires are not unusual, but because of climate changes, the conditions of those fires are changing. But you know, the interesting thing is that what happened in that particular instance is really indicative of what's happening all the time. So we get a storm, that storm isn't happening here, it may be coming off of the Atlantic and it's migrating here, and it just shows you the power of how we're interconnected as a world and as a community. You know, if that would have happened 30 years ago, someone would have went outside and their eyes would have been burning, and they may have asked a friend of theirs, did you see or smell or hear that thing that I smelt or heard or felt? And if they said yes, then you just confirm with each other that we just got bad air and we're just going to keep on moving on. Or we might just decide that, okay, that person didn't experience it, but I did. It wasn't as actual because we didn't have that type of technology that allows us in real time to see what was taking place. And so in real time, we saw an incident that took place in Canada that was ultimately affecting us here in the United States. And because of our ability through technology to monitor environmental conditions, we were able to see that thing coming. A lot of these concerns, a lot of these conditions have been taking place all along. We just haven't been paying attention to it, or it hasn't affected us in a dramatic way. But we do have real challenges with air quality in Philadelphia, and we also have challenges in our region with air quality in Pennsylvania. But one thing that we do know, and is an absolute fact, is that through environmental injustice, Black and brown communities are affected the most. We know that our air quality is most impacted, the stressors on our water, the stressors on our land and the quality of our land through disinvestment in communities and through policies and through just a lack of literacy around these concerns make our communities a bit more vulnerable, right? And so if our intentions is to do the best that we can to keep ourselves healthy, vibrant, and productive, then we have to arrange priorities so that we can do those things, right? So I think the essence of it is growing in our knowledge and our awareness, make it a new normal for ourselves so that we can be able to know what's happening and how it's affecting us. There's a lot of reasons why we should make it a priority to stay more connected to the quality of our water, the quality of our air, and the quality of our land, hence where our food comes from, so that we can have a healthier, more vibrant life. And that's a big part of what our work is to try to get non-scientists, community scientists, regular people to think about how the environment is impacting their health and quality of life. You know, one of the things that we work with at Overbrook is the whole intersection between community, health, and environment. And so this is interesting because this is one of the issues that we deal with quite often. So our goal is to create what we call community scientists. And so we sought out resources from the Environmental Protection Agency to create 2 projects that enabled us to identify the health of land, air, and what we call domestic toxins in the West Philadelphia community. And we're creating the opportunity for community members to participate in focus groups so that they can share with us their concerns, their issues, and even in some cases their remedies for solving some of these problems. There's going to be 2 focus groups here at the Overbrook Center at 6134 Lancaster Avenue in West Philadelphia on Thursday, June the 22nd. That's going to be our evening session from 5:30 to 8. We're going to have a second session here June the 24th, and that's going to be on a Saturday, and that's going to be from 9 to 12 p.m. And again, I want to make certain that people know that they can reach us by phone at 215-879-7770, or they can email us at info, I-N-F-O, at overbrookcenter.org. So those.
Marissa Emerson has been working almost non-stop as a professional actor since graduating college in 2021. What's her secret to success?
I recently sat down with Marissa Emerson, a young professional actor, to find out how she's been able to find steady paid work since graduating from college in 2022. She is currently working as a barter player with Barter Theater in Abingdon, Virginia. Full disclosure, Marissa is my daughter.
I became an actor because well, I mean, why does anyone choose the job they choose? Except I'll tell you, it's not for the money. Honestly, acting scares me, and just as a person, I don't like backing down from things just because I'm afraid. I don't want to run away from being afraid. So I just kept doing it. How did I become an actor? I became an actor professionally. Well, I graduated high school. I did a gap year or bridge year program called Global Citizen Year, and our college admissions counselor that helped us reapply to schools and things gave me really fantastic advice. And she said, don't think about it as what you want to do for the rest of your life. Think about it as 4 years of you learning. What do you want to learn about for 4 years? And I wanted to learn more about theater, and so I applied to schools as a director, went to Temple University, and wound up realizing that I would regret not at least trying this acting thing in a realm that isn't like high school theater. And so I did shows all throughout undergrad, and then by the time I graduated, I had 2 professional contract offers, and here we are. Something else I really enjoy about acting is the different skills I get to learn because of the characters I play. Right now, I'm preparing to play Friar Tuck in Robin Hood, and I get to learn how to use a staff. I get to do fight choreography. There's singing, so I get to learn new music that was written by one of my castmates. It's just the learning that goes into it, and I really enjoy learning new things. Being an actor lets me be a professional learner, which is sick. Advice I would give to other young actors is diversify your skill set. Take classes and things, gain as many skills as you can, apply them where you can. At times when I didn't have acting work, I was able to work as a costume assistant on a show. You don't have to be working 24/7 to be a successful professional actor. You could be unemployed for 3 years and then book a job. And that entire 3 years that you were off, you weren't really off, you were still a professional actor the whole time. Auditioning is the job, performing is the gift. No matter what work you're doing in theater, do good work. It doesn't mean you have to be the best at what you do, but it does mean you ask the questions that you need answered to do a good job. You put your full effort into it, and you tell the story. Honestly, live your own life, live your best life, and if you do the things that make you happy and serve you, then it's going to pay off, and it's going to provide dividends in the work that you're hoping to do. because the more you experience as a person, the more you can bring to the characters that you play, the more random hobbies you have. You never know when that's going to pay off working on a project. Experience life. Yeah. Diversify your skill set, live your best life, make good art, tell the story.
Germantown Arts District uses its Fourth Friday series to connect the neighborhood to the arts. Rashid Ajamu reports.
Fourth Fridays are an opportunity for folks to come out and connect in Germantown, right? So on the fourth Friday of every month, we implore all of our district partners, and that means all the brick and mortar storefronts on the corridor and on the offshoots of the corridor, to open up their spaces at night, so from 6 to about 11 or until whenever you deem necessary. We ask that you open up your business, allow folks to come in, to engage with you in a way that they probably wouldn't be able to during normal business hours, to have some sort of creative engagement or activity. We implore you to host artists, to host musicians, to, just make it feel like a beautiful merge of what your business would be doing if you didn't actually have to run a business. That's for Fridays.
Kristen Clark, an innovative entrepreneur and owner of the KDD Theater, has taken it upon herself to establish the Germantown Arts District to connect the flourishing local arts scene with the larger Philadelphia arts community. Despite Germantown's historical significance, Clark noticed a lack of enthusiasm for the creative scene in the area. Germantown Arts District aims to shift this narrative and bring attention to the arts and culture in Germantown. The organization's recurring event series, Fourth Fridays, has already launched, bringing businesses and district partners together to celebrate Germantown's arts and culture scene. The event culminates in an inaugural Germantown Arts Festival, which will feature interactive and immersive art forms, vendors, artists, music, and food.
I am here tonight, half because I'm DJing, and also I live in Germantown, and I love Ubuntu, I love KDD, so when they're doing stuff, I'm definitely going to come and support and enjoy the festivities.
I want to build up to the Germantown Arts Festival. It's very important to me that the folks who participate in Fourth Fridays have an opportunity to showcase what they've been doing, what they know, the relationship and dynamic that they've built with Germantown at this larger stage at the Arts Festival. Beyond that, I would really, really love for people to feel as if they have time to re-engage with their community. Germantown is known for that energy and that spirit, at least within Germantown. That we help each other out. It's for us, by us energy. And I want to make sure that Fourth Fridays captures the fact that that's a priority for us. It captures the spirit of the Germantown Renaissance, of arts and culture in Germantown, because it's really important and it's really popping here.
Clark believes that Germantown deserves to have access to nice things and that the Germantown Arts District is the change that the community deserves. You can stay up to date on Germantown Arts District's Fourth Fridays and their upcoming Germantown Arts Festival by visiting their website at www.gadphilly.org, or you can visit their Instagram page at gadphilly.
New fathers get together to discuss the pros and cons about becoming a father. DadLab focuses on 0 through first year of a child's life. Come find out what reporter Jamie Oliver found out about DadLab.
I found a support group by the name of DadLab, and I reached out to them, they reached back, and they were excited to sit down and discuss with me how they are supporting fathers here in Philadelphia in its metro area. So, come with me and find out what I found out about DadLab.
So DadLab is a peer learning community for new fathers. And the purpose of DadLab is to help new dads and pre-dads, as I call them, adapt to the huge changes that come with becoming a father?
We call it DadLab because being a parent is not an exact science. It's like being in a lab.
We really focus on new fathers and all the huge emotional transitions. It's really like a new form of life when you have this baby that you're responsible for. The growth that we see as guys take on this new responsibility is great to see. It's beautiful.
And one of the things we see, if targeting that zero conception to the first 1,000 days, and that's 2 years old, that's part of that big disparity with some of the infant mortality rate. So it's some important parts about growth and development, temperament, communication, parenting skills. So within those earlier years, it's real important to try to gain the attention and to get fathers involved in this process of parenting.
Another way that I think about the goal of DadLab is to start a lifelong process of learning. Because as a parent, you never stop learning. Each stage brings new challenges, new ways to adapt, and so the learning never stops. One of the most powerful kinds of moments that happens in DadLab is when a father who's already into the first year and has experienced fatherhood meets an expectant father, a pre-dad, who is looking at fatherhood and is really scared and expresses those fears and those worries and those self-doubts. Can I do this? And when a father who's on the other side of that great divide, that great Grand Canyon, speaks to their colleague, it's some really powerful moments. And Clarence can read a quote from one of those moments.
Here's a short quote from one of them. He says, "I'm going to keep it honest with you, bro. You're going to feel much like you're going crazy. As the weeks get closer, you'll feel like you're going crazy. When you have a baby and you see him, it's like winning a championship. It's truly a blessing. When I held him, I cried. It's like, wow, just seeing the birth of a life just come out. And he looks like me, or he looks like his mother. It's an awesome experience. You see your girl in a vulnerable state, but you have to remain calm. And I was taking screenshots, tracking the contractions. I was just so into it. And it hit you like, oh, it's real. One thing you know is there is a need that comes before yours. You have to learn to sacrifice."
Yeah, so that's the kind of support that can only come from a peer, from someone who's at the same, had that experience. Well, we hope, there are a number of things that we hope new dads get from this experience and from this community. And that is the support to know that they're not alone in facing these huge challenges and feeling overwhelmed. We let people know that if they're scared about becoming a dad, if they're doubtful that they can do it, that's actually normal.
We all know that girls can do anything, and the National Association of Women in Construction here in Philadelphia is here to prove it. Barbara Martin Ellis traveled to meet the leaders of the Mentoring Young Women in Construction summer camp that exposes young girls ages 12 to 18 to the trades.
I'm Mary Gaffney, and I am now the president of the NAWIC Philadelphia Foundation, but I also have my own mechanical contracting business. The program is a free construction camp for girls in grades 7 through 12th grade, and it's called Mentoring Young Women in Construction. We call it MyWIC. We try to fit in at least 8 of the trades each year, 2 job site tours, a fun day, the orientation day, and the graduation day, that we bring their families in to see their accomplishments.
So my name is Talia Weatherall, and I work for Girls Inc. of Greater Philadelphia and Southern New Jersey. I've been with the organization since 2015. I started as an intern, and now I'm still here.
The trades themselves want the women to come into the field. I mean, we're more organized in general. We're creative in ways that we figure out problems. So, I mean, these are all good things and a plus to the industry.
And I think when we do take the girls to the trades, and they visit different trades, and the beginning part when we first get there, of course, is the introduction, like, hey, this is what this particular trade is, and this is what we do. So they get like a little 15, 20-minute spill of the trade, and they're very welcoming, you know. And I think that's a good feeling, because it can be a little intimidating thinking about construction. My girls always be like, that's construction? That's for boys. I was like, no, we can do it too. You know, and part of the idea of why I do this program every summer, and I look forward to it all summer, is because I think it's the idea that there is another option. There's another post-secondary option that I don't think a lot of young kids know about. Whether that's boys or girls, you know, they don't know that there is something outside of just college. College is wonderful, but sometimes college is not for everybody, especially at certain moments, it's not for everybody. I wish that I would have known about the trades, because I think I probably would have took a different route.
Out of all the women in construction, so the wage gap is the least for women in construction than in any other trade or career. So I think it's at least 93% or 90 something. It's up there. So there's a wage gap across the board. We know that as women, but in construction, it's not there. I've always believed that a woman should be very independent, and this is a way. And especially for some girls in the city that aren't as fortunate as I have been, that this gives them a way to buy their own car, finish their schooling that they want to do, buy their own house, you know, be able to take care of their family by themselves. And that's what drives me. This is a great opportunity for women, and if they work smart, and the trades will teach them how to work smart. If they work smart, then they're going to go far, and they'll be good, and they'll be valuable.
So there's two ways you can apply. You can apply through NAWIC's website, and that's through Mary. And that's only if your schedule is tight and you only get to come on certain days. If you sign up through Philadelphia Youth Network, which is you're committing to the 6 weeks, Monday through Friday.
And I would say that if the girls have time, they should go through the 6-week program, whether they get a stipend or not, because they're learning resume building and just public speaking, and they're having other construction related, actually, but more in-depth conversations. But they're learning basic skills. They're not just learning about construction.
This past weekend, I had the opportunity to spotlight the 2023 Odunde Festival, the largest African diaspora-centered event on the East Coast. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Look out in the coming months for more stories from the Community Journalism Fellows. You can also watch our show on YouTube and Roku, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We'll see you next time.